Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I would like to propose a question to my audience, and this is something that I've probably spent way too much time thinking about, and this is the question. Will AI, artificial intelligence, destroy art? That's a big question. Or will it simply change it? Well, I know how I feel about this topic. I want to know what you think and how you feel about the potential for AI to destroy art as we know it. I'm Jeff Mohr, the Northwoods Carver, and thanks for seeing what I saw. Well, you'll never know how deep this water's gonna get. The last one in's a rotten egg. Well, I'd like to tackle this the only way I know how, and that is the question here. This is from the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. Interesting. Cloudy Sunday, cup of coffee, and a little bit of time. So my question is this. Do you think that AI is destroying art as we know it? Or is it just branching off into a new thing? Well, I've got some points and counterpoints that would lead me to believe that it's destroying it. So let's just get right down to brass tacks, shall we? So this is actually the question is, will AI destroy art or just change it? Last August, an image generated via artificial intelligence took the Colorado State Annual Art Competition Prize for digital art or digitally manipulated photography. The entrant, Jason M. Allen, created the piece using a digital image creation program dubbed Midjourney. Similar to tools like DALL-E 2 and Stable Diffusion, Midjourney allows users to enter descriptive text that will then help the AI generate art, though not everyone agrees it should be called that. I'm going to stop you right there, whoever wrote this. Oh, Sarah Godarzi, Associated Editor at the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. You know, I don't know, I haven't read the whole thing yet, but I can tell you this. I don't think by suggesting a few things to an AI program makes it art. Sorry, not sorry. All right, let's continue. The prize's announcement prompted discussion and generated some backlash from artists and critics, some of whom posed a question. Did Allen cheat by using AI to create his piece titled Theater d'Opera Spatiale? I believe that's what it's called. The prize also reignited the heated debate about whether machines will lead to the demise of visual art, a form of expression often considered, at least heretofore, as a high and singularly human achievement. I know it sounds bad, but I kind of think that humans are a higher life form, that, you know, we have emotions and create things from those emotions, and it transfers that energy onto those that view it. I'm a strong believer in the transference of energy in work, in your artwork, or in your words, or in your actions. Energy is important. AI, it's like, you know, mixing alien DNA with weird sea creatures from a different planet and then giving it a familiar face. It turns my stomach. Was that a little heavy? Probably. I don't know. That's just how I am. That's just how I feel about it. Anyway, as machines comb through internet images, many uploaded by artists, to hone their algorithms and generate styles of art that are similar to those they were trained on, we are left once again to wonder if AI will destroy art or be used as a tool to evolve art in the way that photography and mechanical reproduction did in the past centuries. We've asked experts from a variety of artistic and technical disciplines to weigh in on the ethical, economic, and artistic implications of art created by intelligent machines. Also, AIs were not asked to contribute to the conversation. I think they didn't ask AI's contribution, or for AI's contribution. I don't think it's going to matter, because if they're doing it online, it's a foregone conclusion. They're going to know about it. Here's some pretty interesting topics. You guys got to go check this out if you get a chance. There's another one by Martin O'Leary. Is artificial intelligence the true foe of art? AI isn't choosing our artistic future. We are. Let's check on Annie Dorson. AI is plundering the imagination and replacing it with a slot machine. Plugging prompts into AI models hijacks curiosity and robs humans of a process that spurs creativity. Martin O'Leary says, in the game of art versus machine, the winners aren't the machines, but those who own them and whose products can replace human labor. Katie Payton Hofstetter writes, humans can ensure creative growth, and it continues by supporting and equitably growing their art, education, libraries, and culture. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's more dangers than benefits, I think. I mean, AI can be a powerful tool, but I just know from my experiences of being a human and dealing with other humans, it might not be the best thing. In other words, there is this extremely interesting article I read, and it's on a site called Built In. It discusses artificial intelligence and data science. And the biggest thing that I've heard from just about anybody that knows anything about artificial intelligence, which would be most people I think are smarter than I am, but I'm always willing to learn something. So this is an article on the 12 risks and dangers of artificial intelligence. This is written by a fellow by the name of Mike Thomas. And he says that AI has been hailed as revolutionary and world-changing, but it's not without drawbacks. Let's get into this, shall we? As AI grows more sophisticated and widespread, the voices warning us against potential dangers of artificial intelligence grow louder. These things could get more intelligent than us and could decide to take over, and we need to worry now about how to prevent that from happening. This was said by Geoffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of AI. In 2023, Hinton left his position at Google so that he could talk about the dangers of AI, noting a part of him even regrets his life's work. Wow, that's powerful. That's like, like a atom bomb type thing. Once those guys were finished, just, the old saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And this guy is kind of suffering from that right now. The renowned computer scientist isn't alone on his concerns. Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk, along with over 1,000 other tech leaders, urged in a 2023 open letter to put a pause on large AI experiments, citing that technology can pose profound risks to society and humanity. Risks of artificial intelligence. Okay, here's a few. Now, automation spurred job loss. Number 1. 2. Deep fakes. Oh my gosh. I'm sure everyone's seen deep fakes. They're everywhere. They're insane. Some of them are impossible to tell or pretty close, and others are, privacy violations. We see that all the time. Algorithmic bias caused by bad data. You see that all the time. You see all of this all the time, and this is what they're saying could be a problem. I guess from my understanding, this already is a problem. Algorithmic bias caused by bad data. Where have we seen that before? Socioeconomic inequality. Market volatility. We haven't seen any of this, have we? Weapons automatization. Uncontrollable, self-aware AI. Need I see more? Uncontrollable, self-aware AI. That is beyond my scope of, normal thinking. It to me, I cannot see, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there right now that have smartphones, smart TVs, smart lights, smart switches, smart this, smart that, smart everything. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need it. You don't need to tell your lights to go on. You could just walk over and flip a switch. It's crazy. Anyway, moving on. Whether it's the increasing automation of certain jobs, gender and racially biased algorithms, or autonomous weapons that we operate without human oversight, just to name a few. Unease abounds on a number of fronts, and we're still in the very early stages of what AI is. and what it's really capable of. This brings up something probably 35 years ago. I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me, he's a pretty smart guy, and he was telling me that, did you know that technology increases by 100% every 50 years? And that's what it was then. I'm sure it's now with AI, it's going to be a lot quicker. We're not going to be able to get out of the way of this one. I mean, that's just what I see. And I have a few more comments I'd like to say about that, but I'm just going to continue with this read. Now here it is, everyone. 12 dangers of AI. Questions about who's developing AI and for what purpose makes it all the more essential to understand its potential downsides. Below, we take a closer look at the possible dangers of artificial intelligence and explore how to manage its risks. This is like a Jurassic Park moment for me. Like, you know, when they already have an island and they already discovered the DNA and they already have dinosaurs and they already have them all caged up, and now they're going to the scientists saying, hey, you know, they're like, you already did this, you know, and then they go and see them and they're like, what are you doing? What happens if this gets out? What happens? That's crazy. I mean, think about it. This is literally like a Jurassic Park moment. Oh, my mind is so weird sometimes. All right, number 1, lack of AI transparency and explainability. AI and deep learning models can be difficult to understand even for those that work directly with the technology. This leads to a lack of transparency for how and why AI comes to its conclusions, creating a lack of explanation for what data AI algorithms use, or why they make biased or unsafe decisions. These concerns have given rise to the use of explainable AI, but there's still a long way before transparent AI systems become common practice. Number 2, job losses due to AI automation. AI-powered job automation is a pressing concern as the technology is adopted in industries like marketing, manufacturing, and healthcare. By 2030, tasks that account for up to 30% of hours currently being worked in the U.S. economy could be automated, with Black and Hispanic employees left especially vulnerable to the change. According to McKinsey, Goldman Sachs even states 300 million full-time jobs could be lost to AI automation. I didn't even know that there was 300 million jobs. Man, this is something. This is Jurassic Park in the Velociraptor cage. 300 million jobs lost because of AI. He also has this to say. The reason we have a low unemployment rate, which doesn't actually capture people that aren't looking for work, is largely because the lower wage service sector jobs have been pretty robustly created by this economy, says futurist Martin Ford. With AI on the rise, though, I don't think that's going to continue. As AI robots become smarter and more dexterous, the same task will require fewer humans, and while AI is estimated to create 97 million new jobs by 2025, many employees won't have the skills needed for these technical roles and could get left behind if companies don't upskill their workforces. If you're flipping burgers at McDonald's and more automation comes in, is one of these jobs going to be a good match for you, says Ford? Or is it likely that the new job requires lots of education or training, or maybe even intrinsic talents, really strong interpersonal skills or creativity that you might not have? Because those are the things that, at least so far, computers are not very good at. Even professions that require graduate degrees and additional post-college training aren't immune to AI displacement. As technology strategist Chris Messina has pointed out, fields like law and accounting are prime for AI takeover. Oh my gosh. Just give me a second for that. Can you imagine law being taken over by AI? Having a judge removed and having an AI? Oh my gosh, I couldn't even I mean, I can see how it could benefit some people, but they've already stated that AI can be just as corrupt as humans. Depends on where they're getting their information from, right? In fact, Messina said some of them may well be disseminated. AI already is having a significant impact on medicine. Wow. Why, I knew that. Law and accounting are next. Messina said the former being poised for a massive shakeup. Think about the complexity of contracts and really diving in and understanding what it takes to create a perfect deal structure. He said, in regards to the legal field, it's a lot of attorneys reading through a lot of information, hundreds of thousands of pages of data and documents. It's really easy to miss something. So artificial intelligence that has the ability to comb through and comprehensively deliver the best possible contract for the outcome you're trying to achieve is possibly going to replace a lot of corporate attorneys. Social manipulation also stands as a danger of artificial intelligence. The fear has become a reality, with one example being Ferdinand Marcos Jr. wielding a tic-tac troll army to capture the votes of younger Filipinos during the Philippines 2022 election. TikTokers. A trolling army of TikTokers. Wow. Now I've lived long enough, I think. TikTok, which is one example of a social media platform that relies on AI algorithms, fills a user's feed with content related to previous media they viewed on the platform. Criticism of the app targets this process and the algorithm's failure to filter out harmful, inaccurate content, raising concerns over TikTok's ability to protect its users from misleading information. You know, I've heard about that. I heard that's the most invasive app you can have. I mean, they're all invasive, but this one takes the cake. Online media and news have become even murkier in light of AI-generated images and videos. AI voice changers as well as deep fakes infiltrating political and social spheres. Man, these technologies make it easy to create realistic photos, videos, audio clips, or replace the image of one figure with another in an existing picture or video. As a result, bad actors have another avenue for sharing misinformation and war propaganda, creating a nightmare scenario where it can be nearly impossible to distinguish between credible and faulty news. No one knows what's real and what's not, Ford says. So it really leads to a situation where you literally cannot believe your own eyes and ears. You can't rely on what historically we've considered to be the best possible evidence. That's going to be a huge issue. Yes, you think? How to spot deepfake technology. Well, they got these little triggers everywhere. Number 4, social surveillance with AI technology. In addition to its more existential threat, Ford is focused on the way AI will adversely affect privacy and security. A prime example is China's use of facial recognition technology in offices, schools, and other venues. Besides tracking a person's movements, the Chinese government may be able to gather enough data to monitor a person's activities, relationships, and political views. This is just downright disturbing. Remember when we used to have soup cans with string between them, and that was our technology, walkie-talkies. Another example is U.S. police departments embracing predictive policing algorithms to anticipate where crimes will occur. The problem is that these algorithms are influenced by arrest rates which disproportionately impact black communities. Police departments then double down on these communities, leading to over-policing and questions over whether self-proclaimed democracies can resist turning AI into an authoritarian weapon. police departments, then double down on these communities, leading to over-policing and questions over whether self-proclaimed democracies can resist turning AI into an authoritarian. Authoritarian regimes use or are going to use it, Ford said. How much does it invade Western countries' democracies, and what constraints do we put on it? Number 5, lack of data privacy using AI tools. If you've played around with an AI chatbot or tried out an AI face filter online, your data is being collected. Bingo. This is what I was talking about earlier. But where is it going and how is it being used? AI systems often collect personal data to customize user experience or to help train the AI models you're using, especially if the AI tool is free. Data may not be even considered secure from the users when given to the AI system, as one bug incident that occurred with the ChatGPT in 2023 from another active user's chat history. While there are laws present to protect personal information in some cases, in the United States, there is no explicit federal law that protects citizens from data privacy harm experienced by AI. Put that in your smoke and pipe it. All right, number 6. Various forms of AI bias are detrimental too. Speaking to the New York Times, Princeton computer science professor Olga Ruskovsky said AI bias goes well beyond gender and race. In addition to data and algorithm bias, the latter of which can amplify the former. AI is developed by humans, and humans are inherently biased. Well, yeah, this is so crazy. AI, they know what they're doing, and they're still doing it. It just, I remember when I was listening to Elon Musk talk about it, and he stated quite clearly that it's the worst and that's our greatest threat to humanity is AI, artificial intelligence. And yet, we're steaming right ahead. Man, AI researchers are primarily who come from certain racial demographics, who grew up in high socioeconomic areas, primarily people without disabilities. Ruskovsky said, we're a fairly homogeneous population, so it's a challenge to think broadly about world issues. The limited experience of AI creators may explain why speech recognition AI often fails to understand certain dialects and accents, or why companies fail to consider the consequences of chatbots impersonating notorious figures in human history. Developers and businesses should exercise greater care to avoid recreating powerful biases and prejudices that put minority populations at risk. Number 7, socioeconomic inequality as a result of AI. This goes further than art, obviously. Art is it's a big thing, it's a big deal, but it's going to do to us and to our society what it's doing to art. Are you getting it? It's so it's going to lay its hands on you, and you can do nothing about it. Or can you? Number 7, socioeconomic inequality. If companies refuse to acknowledge the inherent biases baked into AI algorithms, they may compromise their DEI initiatives through AI-powered recruiting. The idea that AI can measure the traits of a candidate through facial and voice analysis is still tainted by racial biases, reproducing the same discriminatory hiring practices businesses claim to be eliminating. Wow, this is deep. My brain is just reeling. It's like the squirrel is in overdrive. Widening socioeconomic inequality sparked by AI-driven job loss is another cause for concern, revealing the class biases of how AI is applied. Widening socioeconomic inequality sparked by AI-driven job loss is another cause for concern, revealing the class bias of how AI is applied. Blue-collar workers who perform more manual, repetitive tasks have experienced wage declines as high as 70%. Meanwhile, white-collar workers have remained largely untouched, with some even enjoying higher wages. Sweeping claims that AI somehow overcame social boundaries or created jobs fail to paint a complete picture of its effects. It's crucial to account for differences based on race, class, and other categories. Otherwise, discerning how AI automation benefits certain individuals and groups at the expense of others becomes more difficult. Number 8. Weakening ethics and goodwill because of AI. Along with technologists, journalists, and political figures, even religious leaders are sounding the alarm on AI's potential socio-economic pitfalls. In a 2019 Vatican meeting titled "The Common Good in the Digital Age," Pope Francis warned against the AI's ability to circulate tendentious opinions and false data, and stressed the far-reaching consequences of letting this technology develop without proper oversight or restraint. If mankind's so-called technological progress were to become an enemy of the common good, he added, this would lead to an unfortunate regression to a form of barbarism dictated by the law of the strongest. The rapid rise of generative AI tools like ChatGPT and Bard gives these concerns more substance. Many users have applied the technology to get out of writing assignments, threatening academic integrity and creativity. Some fear, no matter how many powerful figures point out the dangers of artificial intelligence, we're going to keep pushing the envelope with it if there's money to be made. The mentality is, if we can do it, we should try it. Let's see what happens, Messina said. And if we can make money off of it, we'll do a whole bunch of it. But that's not unique to technology. That's been happening forever. Number 9. Autonomous weapons powered by AI. Now, this is the one, I mean, they're all scary, but this one, man. As is too often the case, technological advancements have been harnessed for the purpose of warfare. When it comes to AI, some are keen to do something about it before it's too late. In a 2016 open letter, 30,000 individuals, including AI and robotics researchers, pushed back against the investment in AI-fueled autonomous weapons. The key question for humanity today is whether to start a global AI arms race or to prevent it from starting. They wrote, if any major military power pushes ahead with AI weapon development, a global arms race is virtually inevitable. And the endpoint of this technological trajectory is obvious. Autonomous weapons will become the Kalashnikovs of tomorrow. This prediction has come to fruition in the form of lethal autonomous weapon systems, which locate and destroy targets on their own while abiding by few regulations. Because of the proliferation of potent and complex weapons, some of the world's most powerful nations have given in to anxieties and contributed to the tech Cold War. Many of these new weapons pose major risks to civilians on the ground, but the danger becomes amplified when autonomous weapons fall into the wrong hands. Hackers have mastered various types of cyber attacks, so it's not hard to imagine a malicious actor infiltrating autonomous weapons and instigating absolute Armageddon. If political rivalries and warmongering tendencies are not kept in check, artificial intelligence could end up being applied with the worst intentions. Number 10. The financial crisis brought about by AI algorithms. Oh my word. This is the kind of stuff why I don't watch YouTube videos. Okay, but I have to lay this on you, man. I'm sure there are people out there that are really, they're down with this stuff. They understand it. They know what's going on. I just don't understand why nobody's stopping it. Just stop. Put people back to work. Put artists back to work, you know. Anyway, there's no money in it, that's why. Number 11, loss of human influence. An over-reliance on AI technology could result in the loss of human influence and a lack in human functioning in some parts of society. For instance, using AI in healthcare, in reducing human empathy and reasoning, for instance, and applying generative AI for creative endeavors could diminish human creativity and emotional expression. I think it's happening already, actually. Interacting with AI systems too much can even cause reduced peer communication and social skills. We're seeing that. We're seeing it already. And it doesn't have anything to do with AI. It could just be social media, for Pete's sake. But I'm sure there's AI in there somewhere. So while AI can be very helpful automating daily tasks, some question if it might hold back overall human intelligence, abilities, and need for community. It's already happening. I'm telling you. Look out your window. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Number 12, controllable self-aware AI. There also comes a worry that AI will progress in intelligence so rapidly that it will become sentient and act beyond humans' control, possibly in a malicious manner. Alleged reports of this sentience have already been occurring, with one popular account being from a former Google engineer who stated that AI chat box, LaMDA, was sentient and speaking to him just as a person would. There's a serious danger that we'll get AI systems smarter than us fairly soon, and that these things might get bad motives and take control. Hinton told NPR, "This isn't just a science fiction problem. This is a serious problem that's probably going to arrive fairly soon, and politicians need to be thinking about what to do about it right now." Developing legal regulations. AI regulation has been a main focus for a dozen countries, and now the US and European Union are creating more clear-cut measures to manage the spread of artificial intelligence. Although this means certain AI technologies could be banned, it doesn't prevent societies from create organizational AI standards. Preserving a spirit of experimentation is vital for Ford, who believes AI essential for countries looking to innovate and keep up with the rest of the world. You regulate the way AI is used, but you don't hold back the progress in basic technology. I think that would be wrong-headed and potentially dangerous, Ford said. We decide where we want AI and where we don't, where it's acceptable and where it's not. And different countries are going to make different choices. Let's make AI part of company culture and part of the discussion. The key is deciding how to apply AI in an ethical manner. On a company level, there are many steps businesses can take when integrating AI into their operations. Organizations can develop processes for monitoring algorithms, compiling high-quality data, and explaining the findings of AI algorithms. Leaders could even make AI part of their company culture, establishing standards to determine acceptable AI technologies. Guide tech with humanity's perspectives. Though when it comes to society as a whole, there should be a greater push for tech to embrace the diverse perspectives of the humanities. Stanford University's AI researchers Fifi Lee and John Exmendi make this argument in 2019 blog post that calls for national and global leadership in regulating artificial intelligence. The creators of AI must seek the insights, experience, and concerns of people across the ethnicities, genders, cultures, and socioeconomic groups, as well as those from other fields such as economics, law, medicine, philosophy, history, sociology, communications, human-computer interaction, psychology, and science and technology studies. Balancing high-tech innovation with human-centered thinking is an ideal method for producing responsible AI technology and ensuring the future of AI remains hopeful. The dangers of artificial intelligence should always be a topic of discussion, so leaders can figure out ways to wield that technology for different purposes. Well, I think for that, you'd have to have noble leaders. It's a no-brainer. I think we can talk about these risks, and they're very real, Ford said, but AI is going to be the most important tool in our toolbox for solving the biggest challenges that we all face. Well, that's it, folks. That was a lot. So why don't we discuss something here for a second? The big thing on my mind is, it is a tool, but people are nefarious. People are, not regular people, but there are some really scaly people out there that are running governments and, in high positions. And, when you have sociopathic people in high positions, across the board, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about control. It's all about power. And AI is just a weapon that they get to use against the average person. We are, in my opinion, fertilizer for them to get what they want. It's a weird thing. It's kind of spooky, and not kind of. It's horrifying, actually. Hopefully you all learned a little something. I know I did. I'm not sure I wanted to learn some of that, but I think it's necessary that I did. And next time, I'll make a video that's a little more fun to listen to. Well, this has been Jeff Mohr, the Northwoods Carver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.